this. If lyrics on records could produce the kinds of negative results that certain people claim they produce, then take this example. Most of the records which are broadcast on the radio are songs about love. 99% is about love. And all we hear on the radio is love. So if the lyrics were impressing our society, what will we have here? Disneyland, but we don't.
I can't save them all. I wish I could, though. Or at least save my dogs. Guess that's too much to ask. I guess it's too much to ask. Too much. Too much of a gangster for a prophet, too conscious for a shooter. It's too hard to trust niggas in a world full of Judas. Fuck the presidents, be broken records, vinyl noodles. Top rhyming with my rhyming in my prime, never composite. Bitch, from my deposit, only worry about my profit. Super fly, don't need a stylist. Future writers, rather blind them, bitch. So get behind me, just get behind me. Get behind me, drinking him by the fifth. It keep me slurring and my vision getting blurry, but the pain just keep resurging. Call my mama, bitch, it's urgent. No one can save me, I'm Obama's bastard baby. Feeling like I'm left and hated, cause I'm drowning, call the Navy. Nobody cares, unless the stock is losing shares. Crackers never see us sell, my homies get electric chairs. For making ends meet, they leave us dead in the street. Corners bleed with flesh and meat, and granny praying next ain't me. Never be a sucker is what Pops taught me, but even suckers got it sweeter than the black coffee. It's a must to keep a lean and lengthy man on it. No mama don't like it, but she know her son gon' make sure we. Now let me take it back a little, to the days when I couldn't buy a Happy Meal. Ain't got McDonald's money backseat with my stomach rumbling now. In my backseat it's a Draco with a dirty drummer and we. Alright, my kicks match a brick, super clean, they all white. Bitches asking for my number, acting like it's Wi-Fi. I ain't tripping, been stacking digits to the high rise. I want you to realize that realize, you ain't slick. No, you do not master a disguise. Don't play games with these guys. They be on the corner suited tough, but nah, they ain't serving them no bean pies. Corners where they dreams lie, right under that street sign. On one knee, shake them 10 to 4 before he crap out. Shorty's got they back out. Tory Burch ain't them sundresses. It's the summertime, so them niggas pressing. They ready to act out. I'ma bring it back now. Fuck them hoes who said I wasn't shit, look where they at now. I ain't never back down, I'ma stay solid to the grave. You can't blame me cause that's how us niggas made. Bought that shit to rap now, niggas think they trap now. Boy, you gotta owe you bagging that shit down the grand. Come and get your mans down, you need got his hands down. If you gon' do it right to put the game down. Understand, and listen to me motherfucker, I'm talking to you just to show you ass how much I love you. Don't think you gotta strip or get naked up under covers. Make yourself feel special, hear that man say he love you. Girl, I tell you now I love you. You ain't gotta feel that struggle, I eat the bullet for you. You can go on and keep your muzzle, go on and keep the belt too. Make sure the pussy lane proof, cause when the real one get it, baby girl, you know you can't lose. And that's one day you gon' realize real power lies in your mind when you a better you. That's the ultimate demise. Just listen to me, take notes, my message is true. I hope you make it prosper and increase your revenue. Level up on them, do the shit that bosses do. And to think I'm giving game, I ain't even 22. Cuban links on my chain, but I wanna tie you. This between me and you. Hey, hey, just take a trip with me, baby. Come on.
The Hub Radio. I still have to be able to be true to myself.
When it comes to hair and natural hair and people, like whether you got the curliest hair or the kinkiest hair or your hair is
taking the initiative to serve the underserved, no matter what form or shape or fashion.
A princess always wears a crown over long hair flowing down, never over braids or afros. Well, I was that little girl learning hatred for my curls, and I tried to burn them straight.
Good evening. And happy Tuesday to all my queens and kings out there. It is 7:30 and you are now tuned into Queens Table Talk on the Hub Radio. I am your host Mo, and I'm here with my girls, my fellow queens, my dear friends, Miss Lovely Leah.
What's up?
And Miss Jasmine Renee.
Hey.
Yes, you are tuned into the second show. And oh my goodness, I haven't seen you all since last week, so we have to catch up.
Right.
Yeah, how was your week?
It was cool. I went to San Diego for work for the girls tournament. It was really cool out there. Just a lot of different stuff. San Diego is different in terms of like the white people and all of that. Because LA, we're not used to seeing white people like that. So it was really
demographics,
different. Yeah. And then I saw a lady. She had on like this shirt because they did complimentary breakfast. She had on a shirt and it said something like gangster rap and essential oils and something else, and then it said like hashtag mom life. But she was white, and I'm like, why? I was like voicing my opinion, and it's funny because like my coworker was like, "Don't be quiet, whatever." Like you, I'm like, I just don't understand why you felt like it was okay for you to wear that shirt. But
right.
It was a whole bunch. It was interracial dating out there, like couples and all of that. I just wasn't really here for it. But the trip was really fun. I loved being with the girls and being with my 3 coworkers. It was cool.
Oh, that's good. I would have been annoyed had I seen that shirt.
I was annoyed if you seen the shirt, but not the interracial couples.
I would be annoyed with that too, but I'm talking about the shirt. The shirt in itself, I don't like that. I feel like that.
I'm more annoyed with the interracial couples.
Really? I mean, I get annoyed too, but I mean, like, they gonna do whatever they want to do. I mean, I've been to San Diego like 3 times this year, and that is what's out there. You know, it's annoying, but
I just want to know what essential oils. Where
that's
are you
what I'm
putting
saying.
the
What
essential
are you
oils?
wearing?
Where are you putting the essential oils?
And vinaigrette.
Not vinaigrette.
On a salad. On a
On
salad.
her skin.
Oh.
It has the vinaigrette. That ain't no coconut oil. That's for sure. Lovely Leah, what have you been up to?
Just working this week. It was really rough. Just working long hours. But I mean, that's really it for my week. I'm excited about Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I'm excited to eat.
Yes.
That's what I'm excited about.
I am too.
I don't have to work, so I'm really, really excited to spend it with my family.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
nice. Oh, that is important. Y'all, let me tell you about what happened to me today. I was really excited. I couldn't wait to come here so I could tell you guys. So I was telling them about a month ago when I started my new job, this black girl got hired the week after I did. And whenever I saw her, I tried to smile at her. She really didn't smile back at me. And then I ran into her again about 2 weeks ago when I was going into the bathroom. She was coming out. I smiled at her again. She didn't smile at me. And I'm like, this is not really queen behavior. You know, you're not really showing black girl magic. And it's like, I'm not trying to be your friend or anything like that. But when I see another black girl, I feel like, you know, I should speak to her and say, hello, how you doing? You know, the same way I would speak to everybody else.
Common courtesy.
Yeah, it's common courtesy. And she was just like, she don't have me no mind. I'm like, did I do something to you? I don't know. But anywho, she's on my worries right now. So today, this morning, I went into the break room and I was making my tea per usual. And this other black girl was in there, and she just got hired. And I guess yesterday was her first day. And she works at the front desk. She's a front desk receptionist. So today when I walked in the break room, I was making my tea, and then she said, good morning to me. I said, good morning, you know, how are you? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. So then we started making small talk, and she's like, oh, like, what's your name? And I said, I'm Monique, you know, I work over here. And then she just told me her name was Monica. And I'm like, oh my God, your name is Monica, my name is Monique.
Oh,
okay,
best
cool.
friends
There's
already.
some kind of connection, you know? And then me and her were just talking, and we were vibing with each other. And then I was like, it just feels so good to talk to another black person, especially like when we're not like sitting over here having a beef with each other for no reason. And I just felt good. I was smiling the whole time I was talking to her, and I was trying not to be weird about it, but I was just really, really happy. I was so happy. I was texting everybody. I was like, remember about that girl I told you about a couple weeks ago? Well, forget her. I met a new black girl. It's just,
You were supposed to pull her into the break room and tell her that y'all not about to do that. Did you do that?
I did not do that.
So why haven't you initiated it?
Because, like, why I gotta go to you?
If you're supposed to be a black
nice.
queen, queens are supposed to initiate everything.
Just
I
still
tried
be
to
nice
initiate a
her.
conversation with her twice.
I mean,
smiled at her.
all you can
didn't
do
try to
is be-
initiate
If she would have smiled back, I would have been like, hey, girl.
So
Yeah.
if we really holding this title of a queen, Queen's got to really put in some work. So we have to go grab her and tell her we're not about to do this in the workplace.
Like, girl, like literally, there's not a lot of us in here. Probably before that girl got hired, and before I got hired, there was one black lady. She works on the 3rd floor, and then it was me, and then the other girl came in. And we work in the same department too. And then now you have this other black girl that comes in. So I'm like, it's not even a lot of us here. It's mostly white people at my job. And I'm just like, I just want to at least be able to say hi to you whenever I walk by.
We
with
don't
them.
know if she actually feel negatively about that.
Who
The other girl, the one that was
The
not
other girl?
smiling at you.
That's what
I'm gonna walk by her cubicle tomorrow. I'm gonna be like,
All you can do
I'll
is
be
just
like,
be
"Hey,
you,
queen."
like, and just keep on doing
Give
what
her
you're
a
doing.
note.
Just be
Okay.
Monique.
I'm gonna be like, hi, queen. Because that's me.
Yeah.
Like, I just like to make everybody feel good. I just like to speak to people. Like, that's just, at least that's how I was raised, is to speak to people and to be polite to them. But she wasn't having it with me.
She's
So,
going through something.
yeah. But the good news is
Give her
that,
a note. That's a challenge for the week. Drop her a note, a little card.
give her a note.
Give her a card.
Okay. I'm gonna give her, actually, I'm gonna do it tomorrow for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be like,
Oh, that's
happy
nice.
Thanksgiving, queen. And
Not
I'll
a
leave it on her
generic
cubicle.
card, but give her like write out.
No, I'm gonna
like,
write it out. I'm gonna write out a handwritten
nice.
note. Oh, you know what? I actually have these note cards, a stationery pad in my desk. So I'm gonna just use one of those, and that's good. And that's good stationery too, because it cost me like $20.
It's
so
good, the good
yeah,
stationery. Okay.
Yeah, for real. She better respond back too if I'm using like one of my $20 cards upon her.
Oh my
I'm gonna be
God.
like, get that happy Thanksgiving, queen.
You
And leave it
know,
on her desk.
a note, not a generic Happy Thanksgiving, like a whatever. Like, I'm glad to see another black woman in the office, something like that. Not just because Happy Thanksgiving, I'll be like, okay, moving on, like,
Or say
but-
like, I look forward to getting to know you, or something like that. You know?
or just be
Okay.
generic, like, just leave her something that you would want to see as a black woman. Like, hey,
I'm
I
gonna
know
brainstorm this tonight.
you put too much effort into stuff.
Brainstorm.
Like,
Brainstorm.
Because like you said, you don't want it to be generic though, but yet like you want it to be like, you know,
Make it
personable.
you. All you can do is be you. So make it you and just leave whatever you feel is best.
Right.
something more than just Happy Thanksgiving.
Right. Okay. Fine. But still, I just like to make people feel better. Like, I'm not trying to be your best friend. I just like want to at least be able to, like, you know, smile at you and say hi to you when I see you, like, you know, across the office. Hey, girl. You know. But all in all,
I'm not really that person.
you're not.
No, no.
I'm a very social person.
Don't
I just
seem
like to
like that
speak to
person.
people. I just don't like awkwardness. So I'm just
And
like,
that's awkward.
what's awkward?
Like, hey, how you doing? I don't really know you, but I'm gonna act like I'm.
But
happy
think about
to
okay,
see
if
you.
I no, what's awkward is me getting ready to walk into the bathroom, you coming out, and I'm like looking at you, I'm smiling at you, like about to say hey, and like you walk right
Well,
past
you
me.
are.
That's awkward.
You're a little extra sometimes.
I'm not extra.
She's just really
Well,
friendly.
I am
It's
friendly.
a difference.
But
There's a
okay,
difference.
to somebody that don't like, honestly, I would just be like, she doing a lot, like, you know.
Because I'm smiling
my
at you?
gosh.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know.
But I think you would say like, "Hey, what's up?" I think
No,
you
I
would
would be
do
like, all right, okay, we're
Oh
good.
my
like,
gosh.
But I'm the type of person, I'll be like, hey, you know, how you doing? Good. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm that person. But like, if you were just like, hey, you know, let's chill, let's bring it down a little bit.
I was about to just say like hey.
Yeah, but
No,
I
usually
mean,
I'm just like,
maybe
oh
she's
hey,
talking
like,
about-
good morning.
that. Maybe she's talking about your energy.
No, I'm usually like that with my friends. Like,
She's
if we're-
always on. To
yeah. So you just be cold. So
I'm around that with
cold
you
to
guys.
each other.
Yeah, you are.
With you guys, I'm on 10.
Nigga,
That's
it's a lot for me sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, it's the end of the day, and she on here.
Aaliyah says it's a lot for her too, but that's okay. I'm just like that around people that I care
That's
about.
how I
But
know
like
we
if I don't
couldn't-
know you, I'm just be like, oh hey, like you know, how are you? But I'm not gonna be all up in your face.
I mean, that's how
I mean,
we all
not all
couldn't
up
like
in your
live
face.
together because when I get home, I'm like, I just want to chill, and you're like, hey girl, what you doing? What you doing? You want to watch a movie? You want to go get some wine? What you want? What you doing? And I'm like, no, I just want to be left alone.
I really just
But
genuinely care about
I
what
love
you
that
doing.
about you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
whenever I need a pep, you know, I'll be like, hey girl, what's up? And you know, you'll give me that little energy.
That energy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
When I'm
I'm
a
just
little-
trying to send positive energy and positive
Yes.
vibes to people. That's all, you know. But no, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna give her a nice little note tomorrow. And, you know, something that's nice. But I don't think that it should be some like unspoken tension. Like I'm just like, what
It
did I
might
do to
be.
you?
It's unspoken tension between a lot of black women that don't know
Right?
each
I'm
other.
gonna tell her to watch
Right.
Queen's Table Talk because this is why we're here. So the stuff like that, we can break down those barriers
Right.
and
Or-
have the connections between black
Well,
women.
okay.
Yeah.
What?
Introduce her to the show.
Yeah, I'm be her girl. Tune in.
Put her on as a guest.
Tune in every Tuesday, 7:30.
First, Monique
Pacific
has to get a
Standard
high
Time.
back before she can come on the show, right?
I can do what?
You need to get a high back, right?
Yeah,
Before
we
she
gotta
can
have
come
some
on
kind
the
of
show.
conversation.
Come on, if she don't. That's a great.
I'm gonna write that in the notes.
Conversation,
Tune in to Queen's
man.
Table Talk every Tuesday. But no, for real though, I really hope that she can maybe she hasn't discovered and unlocked her magic yet. So
We can't-
I help her do
We
that.
can't do that because I'm pretty
don't
sure
know.
a lot of people feel like that about me. Where I didn't discovered, unlocked, and protected, and discovered, unlocked, and protect the whole 2 sets of magic. Like it's the
She said 2
we can't
sets.
say that. Maybe she don't like being at work, or she like okay. So if somebody would have saw you while you were on your last couple days or months or whatever at JCPenney's, and you just weren't really feeling it, and they've been there or you've been there, and somebody's like, hey, and this is like, their job that they like or whatever, and they're like, oh my God, I've been wanting to work at JCPenney's, and you like, girl, it ain't nothing to this. I'm tired of coming in. Like, it's not that you haven't like unlocked your magic, it's just that you're not really feeling that.
I wouldn't have said that out loud.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't have said that out loud.
Said what out loud?
That I'm really not feeling it.
No, I'm not saying that you would have said that, but I'm just saying your energy is going to reflect
uh-huh.
however you feel. And you said that you weren't really feeling, JCPenney's at some point in time. So if somebody would have been like, oh my God, like, I'm, whatever, you probably would have, it would have kind of seemed as if you weren't really, like, matching the energy. So what if they would have been like, oh, she ain't found her magic yet. Let me just walk on over here because she tripping. Like, we don't know if she, been going through a whole bunch up there. We don't really know that.
We're going to get to the root of it, though, after I send that note. And I'm going to give y'all an update next week. See. Oh, girl. If she responded to my note. I just want her to feel good. But anywho, let's talk about Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is a couple days away. So how y'all feel? What you guys going to do?
I'm just ready to eat. We always go to my cousin's house in Orange County, and it's really nice because we all hold hands before we eat, and we, like, stand in a big circle, and we just tell everybody what we're thankful for, and I just really like it because it's just like a nice moment to like hear everybody else's thoughts and just kind of reflect. So I really like that. And then we just eat. We just go to town.
Oh, that's nice.
Go to town on some food.
What you doing?
Well, I'm gonna have a really lit weekend, but I'm gonna go I'm gonna be at my grandma's house and then go to my mom's house for Thanksgiving and help them, and then that night I'm gonna go see that new Denzel movie that's coming out Thanksgiving night, and then Friday one of my friends is getting married, so we're going to the after party, and then Saturday I don't know what we're doing Saturday, but Sunday we're going to her concert. That R&B artist.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go see her on Saturday. So Thanksgiving will be lit. I'm excited to feel like a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I had today off. I have to work tomorrow, and then I'll get Thursday and Friday off, and then Sunday will be lit. So it's all lit this whole week. So.
That's nice.
All right now.
What about you?
Jasmine. I'll be with my family up on Thanksgiving. We're going over to my aunt's house, and we're gonna chow down on some food. I'm really excited. I actually love Thanksgiving. It's actually my favorite holiday. It's just something about being around my family during Thanksgiving. It just makes me very grateful. It's just a day of reflection for me, just to be grateful for all the things that I have. And my family is one of them. So it just feels good, like with all the food, and then with being around my family. And on top of that, we usually play games after we have dinner, and it's usually very competitive. So I'm here for it. Like, I'm here for the taboo. I'm here for the charade. So I'll be ready on Thanksgiving.
That's nice.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna do like any Black Friday shopping?
Probably not. I mean, probably not. But there are some things that I do want to get. But I don't think so. I'm gonna be recovering.
I have to work on
You
Black
do?
Friday, yeah, and we don't have Black Friday sales, so people are gonna come in disappointed. But
Ross
I
is to
think
come out.
I might go like in the morning, but then I'm like, I don't know. I'm still
What
on the
time do you
fence.
go to work?
Black Friday, I close, but I'm like, do I really want to like battle all the people? I don't know about that. I'd rather just sleep in.
They gonna be in there regardless.
But I can
Yeah,
just
it don't even matter.
shop online.
See, that's what I'm saying. I wait till
Cyber
Cyber
Monday.
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really do the whole Black Friday thing. I just don't like being out and about in the crowds. Like, I worked on Black Friday for like 4 years, and I'm not really here for it. To be honest with you, Black Friday, it's really not as great of a deal as you think that it is, usually they just mark up the prices. And pretty much a lot of the good deals are before Black Friday.
Right.
So like last week probably would have been the best week to go shopping. But Black Friday, I'm not about to waste my time out there and all the chaos. And I just never understood that. If you just sat there and said everything that you're grateful for, but yet show your greed the next day, I'm not here for that.
Wait, how's this from greed?
Are you serious? I'm like, no. I worked in retail, so I've seen people like pushing, shoving, cussing people out.
They get pretty wild.
Yeah, they
out
get
there.
crazy.
It's kind of crazy.
I'm like,
I'm all for the deals, but you don't have to like push somebody over just to get a large TV. Like, I don't understand.
You don't have to do that.
No.
And I'm like, I just don't understand that. And like I said, we just talked about giving thanks and being grateful, and then next thing you know, you out and about and you being all crazy.
They even have Black Thursday too. So like people spend the night on Thanksgiving like at these stores, and I just think that's just too much. Spend time with your family, like
exactly.
You never know.
I mean, I like the whole like we would probably stay up. We would probably be up for Thursday and Friday when I was younger, and we would maybe go to sleep for a little bit, and then we would wake up super early, and it would be me, my granny, my cousins, and my aunts, and we would go out and. You know, I mean, majority of the people aren't out there, like, shoving people. A lot of them are just kind of getting in and out. Like, there are certain instances, but I think I personally, it's a part of my childhood. We did it every year. But I think, I mean, I don't know. I guess it just depends on your experience with it or whatever. But, I mean, I think it's a select few that really go out there, like, and then some, you know, some things call for, like, crazy sides to come out, but it just depends.
Just don't treat the employees bad at the stores.
That's
what
rude.
I don't like.
They don't want to be there.
Right.
Especially if it's Thanksgiving.
Right.
Be nice to people.
Don't be
Come
jerks.
on now. Exactly. They don't want to be there when they can be with their families.
Exactly.
Right. But no, yeah. That, like I said, it's something I didn't really get. But with Thanksgiving, with my whole retail experience that I've had within the past couple of years, I actually learned how to appreciate my family a little bit more and appreciate my time and my family time because literally I used to work on every single holiday. So I was that person that was in the store working on Thanksgiving. I was that person that was like really, really sad because I couldn't eat with my family. I had to eat leftovers and it doesn't taste the same. Like
Doesn't it taste better?
No, it didn't taste the same.
So.
I was so
it
sad.
The day after.
You think so? I always like the initial meal. Like
It's not the same when you're not sitting with your family. I mean, you can eat the leftovers with your family, but it's not the same. That's the day of.
I used to be sad. Like, and this one lady, like,
I just be sad.
I do. And this lady, like, had the nerve to complain to me. And she said that the line is too long out here and blah, blah, blah. You guys need to do something about it. And out of all the days, I was like, lady, like, goodbye. And honestly, if you work in retail, the best time that you can go off on somebody is either Thanksgiving or Black Friday because it's so busy they can't tell on you. So, so she was telling me that the line was too long. I was like, how dare you try to tell me that the line is too long when you had an option to be here? Like, I didn't get an option. So, be nice to the people. If you're going to go shopping on Thanksgiving or Black Friday, please be polite to them. They didn't ask to be there.
Right. So,
yes.
That wraps up our segment of Table Talk. We will get into some current events with Tell Me Why when we come back. Enjoy these commercials and music videos. All right.
exclusive cakes and cupcakes for every occasion. We proudly bake everything from scratch. With every moist and mouth-watering bite, you will be smacking your lips by the time you are finished. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Lip Smacking Cupcakes.
Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Did you want to see me broken? I got that mac and cheese that'll bring it down to your knees. I got that stuffing too, make you wanna call me boo. Grease popping in a frying pan, you a breast to a thigh man. You hate to wait, let me go ahead and get you a plate. But what you bringing to the table? What you bringing to the table? You ain't making enough greens, then at least be grateful. What you bringing to the table? What you bringing to the table? Can't make dessert, don't desert me, at least stay faithful. You got that tofu, thought it was soul food, thought you were so cool, damn I was soul food, following your rules. You got that easy bag, juvenile cheap and fag, taking to-go plates from bitches in your face, got bitches in your place. You ran out of substance, I have an abundance. I made an assumption this could be something, but this shit ain't nothing. I don't do fast food, thought it would last, boo. You just like the last dude, tryna ride through, like I am a drive-through, like you could just slide through. Let me remind you what I'm bringing to the table. What I'm bringing to the table, you ain't making enough greens, and at least be grateful. What you bringing to the table, what you bringing to the table, can't make dessert, don't desert me, at least stay faithful.
Allow me to give you something to think about. Not everything that comes out of Compton is bad. I mean, we have Dr. Dre, The Game, Kendrick Lamar, Venus and Serena Williams. That little girl with the dream made an Aja Brown. P. Diddy couldn't have said it better. This is the fairy tale, man. And fairy tales do come true. Because we got millions of cats that are coming up with that hustling spirit and drive. They got that mention, that drive. Bill Lyons had that drive to overcome all obstacles. Bill Lyons isn't just a clothing line or just a brand. It's a movement. Bill Lyons is Compton. Compton is Bill Lyons. Respect the perspective. Bill Lyons.
Cleanup Man. We provide professional, affordable, dependable services from carpet cleaning and upholstery to flooring, 7 days a week, same day or by appointment. So call, text, or message 562-279-6488 for service as good as advertised.
The Hub Radio.
Let's get into our next topic with our next segment, Tell Me Why. So tell me why is when we talk about current events. So, y'all, tell me why Gabby Douglas came under fire earlier this week for a tweet that she made in response to her teammate. So what happened was, if you guys remember from the Olympics, it was Allie, I believe her last name is Raisman. Allie Raisman, Simone Biles, and Gabby Douglas. And their teammate Allie, she made a post about how women should be allowed to wear whatever they want to wear and still feel sexy. And whatever they wear is no excuse for someone to sexually assault them. And then Gabby Douglas had responded, and she responded to her tweet and said, however, it is our responsibility as women to dress modestly and be classy. Dressing in a provocative/sexual way entices the wrong crowd. And then Simone Biles came in, and then she responded to Gabby Douglas, and she said it doesn't surprise her pretty much that she's seeing what Gabby had posted. Said it doesn't surprise me. Honestly, seeing this brings me to tears because as your teammate, I expected more from you and to support her. And she says, I support Allie and all the other women out there. Stay strong. And then Gabby had issued an apology, but the problem with this is the fact that a lot of people think the way that Gabby Douglas does. And we need to stop victim shaming.
I don't see in her victim shaming anybody in this.
Well, she's not. It's more of an idea that she's putting that you shouldn't dress provocative and sexual. But what I mean is that when people are sexually assaulted, you don't put the blame on women. So just like what she's saying, women should not dress in a provocative or sexual way. My clothes has nothing to do with whether or not somebody sexually assaults me, and we need to stop thinking like that and stop holding women accountable. Not saying you shouldn't hold women accountable for their conduct, but there's more emphasis upon women and how women dress and how they behave rather than how men conduct themselves and how men behave. And it goes back to that whole saying, like, guns don't kill people, people with guns kill people. And it's kind of the same thing. Like, clothes don't get women raped. Men who don't know how to take no for an answer rape women. That's not okay. And I think with Gabby, she probably was... I'm not gonna come down upon her though, because I think that it's something that's taught to women. It was taught to me growing up that you should dress classy and that you shouldn't be you should cover up, you should be classy and whatnot. But at the same time, it's not cool just for you to put the responsibility upon women and how we conduct ourselves. Where's the responsibility upon men, and when are we going to start holding men accountable for their actions and teaching them that they shouldn't sexually assault women?
Well, I agree with Gabby, and I definitely think we went to the slut walk, and I didn't feel comfortable there either because I have this mindset, and I'm also an advocate of changing rape culture, and I do understand that the men do need to be talked to. That's something, if you ever hear me talk about it, that's something that I'm always saying, but Gabby is not the person to change the men. Gabby is not the person to speak to the men. It's men that need to speak to men. Women need to speak to women, and what we do need to understand is that yes, and this is going to be touchy, but yes, there are a whole mess of instances where it's not the woman's fault. But what we have to also go into life understanding is there is a responsibility for us to cover our assets. We shouldn't be out here. Now, you can wear what you want to wear, but you shouldn't be flaunting your complete whole body. And I believe that's what Gabby said. And I don't know if I brought it up to you, but at the slut walk, you didn't see any actual black female celebrities there. And I think we're just taught differently. I was talking to a friend today, and I'm looking around. We were in Santa Monica. I'm looking around. There's a whole bunch of white women wearing these short dresses, and it doesn't look like anything.
With no shirts on, pasties on.
And even when I go to my job, and we're teaching, I see these white women coming in, and they'll be like in these little short dresses, and it doesn't look like anything. But if I were to do it, it looks like something. It looks like something that I don't need to be wearing in the workplace. So we do have a responsibility, and I think Gabby was low-key throwing shots at Allie, which I'm okay with because controversy is cool. Allie Raisman has pictures that are controversial, that are provocative. And I think she was telling her, like, yo, you put yourself out there. And it's not that it's okay by the man, but I'm huge on I can only talk to who's sitting in front of me and who's going to hear this. I can't talk to the man because that's not my place. So what I'm going to do is address the woman. We need to go places in buddy systems. We need to be more accountable for our sisters. We need to make sure that we can't be out here half naked. Now, like I
agree
said,
with
you
you.
can wear what you want to wear, but I think that's where this was coming from, not from a place of victim shaming at all. And I think it's very wrong for Simone to come at her the way that she did, because I don't think it was from a negative place. And I think Simone, I think there's some type of animosity between Simone and Gabby, because I feel like Simone, at the end of the day, this is your sister. First of all, this is the only other black female that you have on the gymnastics team with the USA team. So I feel like that should have been handled differently, coming from Simone. I feel like Gabby was right. I just feel like she was definitely, we do have a responsibility in the same way that the men have a responsibility. And I'm definitely not the one that's saying, oh, let's just take the light off the men. But we do, as women, have a responsibility to remain classy and to dress a certain way. I strongly believe that.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. That's something that was taught to me growing up. Of course, it brings attention, so you ain't gonna be out here walking around naked. I'm not saying that. But if we're talking about issues of sexual abuse, it doesn't matter if you wearing a skirt down to your ankles. It doesn't matter whether you're wearing a skirt above your knees. That does not give somebody the right to violate you.
And I don't think she didn't say that. That's the only thing I'm saying is, Gabby, all she said is we have a responsibility as women. She didn't say you were raped because of this, or you were sexually assaulted because of this, that, and the other. All she's doing is saying there is a responsibility. There's a responsibility to us as women to hold ourselves accountable, to carry yourself as a young lady, to make sure that you're covered up.
Yeah. I think Gabby has the same mindset as a lot of women do, but you have to think and remind yourself that not everybody thinks this way. So some people may take it offensive because they're like, oh, well, I think it's, the women's right to wear whatever they want to wear. But I mean, I grew up like this, but not everybody is like us. So I can see both sides. I can see that Gabby is just saying, this is kind of how I feel as a woman. This is our responsibility to make sure we're accountable for our actions. But at the same time, the whole bashing of her, I just kind of I don't agree with it.
Well,
because
let's address who bashed
but
who.
no, I'm saying people bashing Gabby for her opinion, I don't think it's cool.
I wouldn't bash her.
No, but I mean, a lot of people were on her head about it, and I don't think that's cool because that's her opinion, and that's how she was raised, that's how she carries herself, and I mean, I don't think Simone should have came to the defense like that, but
that was shocking, more shocking to me than what Gabby said.
I think she should have maybe told her in person or something. I don't think she should have posted on.
Or pulled it to the side.
Yeah.
Said something.
Yeah.
Or maybe direct message her.
Or she just I honestly think there is an animosity between them two, and I think she was just looking for something to show I'm not with Gabby, because she definitely wasn't victim shaming Allie. It wasn't that at all, and she really hyped up the situation when it didn't need to be hyped up. And I think a lot of black women are like that because our bodies are different than a lot of people. So it's just that's the honest to God truth.
Yeah.
That's our responsibility. And we can address men, but it's honestly, we can say all that we want to say, but when it's going to change is when these men start talking to these men. And it's men in your families, it's men that you hanging around in your circles. 80% of rape victims are raped by somebody that they know. So if you know someone that is raped, it's an 80% chance that you know who raped them. So that's a very clear view to who we need to start talking to.
And I saw this video of Michelle Obama speaking and saying that we need to start holding these mothers accountable for their men. We can't baby the men anymore and then try to tell the women or the girls, grow up. You need to grow up. You need to do this. You need to do that. And then, have the men just sitting on the sidelines just watching as their sisters, as, their wives are taught to, do the chores, do this, do that, and then the men are just sitting on the sidelines. So she was saying we cannot baby these men anymore. We need to have a better responsibility. Exactly, because their actions are not okay, and men need to be men and respectable men at that.
And as you can see with the issues that's going on up in Hollywood right now, it's been such an influx of allegations against these men in Hollywood and in politics too. And it shows you, like, granted, it's been going on for a long time, but to have all these women coming forward and making these allegations about sexual misconduct, there's a problem that's going on. And if it's a problem that keeps on reoccurring, then yeah, it is something that men have to address with these men and say, you know what, you need to understand, I don't care how much money that you make, I don't care what your status is, you don't have the right to sexually assault anybody, you don't have the right to rape anybody, keep your hands to yourself, no means no, learn how to conduct yourself, period.
And it's also men that are also going through. Terry Crews came out with his story
I saw that
about
too.
the agent, his Eddie Murphy's agent and Adam Sandler's agent had sexually assaulted him at an event, and he had came out about that. So it's definitely men and women, and it's something, it is very shocking, and it's not something that you want to hear, but I mean, people got to start speaking up and start saying what it is that's going on, and dropping these names, and getting to the point where, no, I'm not going to be in your project, I'm not going to support your project. If this is an allegation that you made, that was made against you, I don't care how much money you're offering me. This is not okay, because the money that I'm receiving is coming from a negative place. So we have to really tighten down and really see what our morals are. Our morals are very construed. So we have to really just start locking these people out of businesses and making sure that we aren't sending them our money.
I'm glad that women are comfortable enough from seeing other women speak up to speak up, but I'm not glad that it's happening. That's one thing that I can say. And I just feel like it's happening too often, and then people are afraid of the repercussions, so that's why they are keeping silent. But I wish that they were able to feel comfortable enough to talk about it when it happens, you know.
Yeah,
but it's horrible.
Yeah, just like I'm sorry, correct me. What is his name? Is it Harry or Harvey? Yeah, Harvey Winston. When he was, I think it was Angelina Jolie that came out about him sexually assaulting her, and then Lupita came out about it, and it just makes me sad, because when you think about those kind of situations, I believe it happened early on in their career where people don't really know who they are yet. So you're trying to get to a place where you become a successful actress and you feel like you really can't speak up. And that's really sad that you have people who have hopes and aspirations, and then you want to take advantage of that and you want to abuse it. Like, shame on you. That's not right. And like I said before, these men need to be held accountable for their actions and what they do. I don't care who you are, where you from, how much money you have. You need to be held accountable just like anybody else does. You need to be put in jail, actually. And that's not right.
Yeah, I think it also goes back to, we need to have our own spaces and our own things, to the point where Lupita shouldn't feel like, I have to stay here to get my big break. It should be like, I don't need this. You're doing this. I'm going to out you, but understand I'm going back to my community, or back to, well, she's in America now, so African Americans got my back. So now I'm going to go, and we have a platform where we can now push her. And I think that's really necessary, because, like you said, it probably happened at the beginning of their career. They don't know if they're going to blow up. So you're kind of like mindful and going, oh, I don't really want to say anything because it's going to mess me up.
I don't want to cause a scene.
Yeah, so it's like, we need to have our own spaces where even if something isn't going right, we get to a point where it's like, I don't even need to be involved with you. Or even if you take the money off the table, I can go elsewhere, because we have our own infrastructures and our own businesses to help, fund and raise up these different talents that we have out here. So.
Agreed.
And then today I posted something that, it was like a poll with a pad, and it said, imagine if men were just as disgusted with rape as they were periods. And I thought that was really interesting, because guys get so grossed out, but yet they don't want to get grossed out about the real deal things such as rape. So
violating somebody. That it needs to be addressed, though, and we just cannot remain silent upon issues like this.
And there needs to be actions being taken into place, because somebody coming out and then nothing happening because of them coming out, it just continues on the cycle. So I mean, there needs to be some like legal repercussions going on, so people can feel safe to speak up.
Well, I think the power that we have, like, in being like Black queens and Black girl magic or whatever is that we can unite and come together as a collective. And I think it's going to take us coming to a point where we defend these people, these women that have been sexually abused. But in segueing out of that, let's talk a little bit about some more Black Girl Magic.
Yes, let's get into some Black Girl Magic. A lot has happened this past week. It's a lot of Black Girl Magic that is in the air. Just a couple people that we would like to acknowledge. Serena Williams got married last week. She looked very beautiful. I believe she had a Beauty and the Beast theme wedding. And she got married to, I forgot, his name is Alexis. I don't know what his last name is. Yeah, he's the founder of Reddit. And I didn't know that. But I was happy for her because she, I've been following Serena Williams for a long time. And if you've seen her in the media, people have constantly slandered this woman, and they've called her ugly. They've pretty much berated her in every way that you can. And I'm just really happy for her that somebody like can love her and see the beauty up in her. And I just really hope that she has a very, very happy and successful marriage because she truly is Black Girl Magic.
She looked really beautiful.
She did.
I loved her dress. Yeah. I like how classy and elegant it was. I liked the whole theme of like her whole wedding party and her daughter, how she incorporated her mom and her daughter. I really liked it. It was really, really nice. And the theme, Beauty and the Beast, was really nice too.
I love Serena. I'm just not here for the relationship. I'm going to say this, and people can feel how they want to feel about it. I feel like the way that she was shamed and the way that people came for her, the way that she looked, and it kind of did something to her mentally, and I feel like it maybe took her away from accepting the beauty in her, and that is kind of what made her want to outsource and find love elsewhere. I'm not going to say that this is exactly what she is going through, but I definitely can see how if you're put in the media every single day and they're telling you you're not beautiful, you're not pretty, you look like a man, it will make you feel like you aren't. And even though she is beautiful in this picture, I personally, it don't look good to me on my eyes. I don't really want to see a Black queen with another race of a man, because I feel like the most perfect union is when you are with your other counterpart. I mean, it says don't be unequally yoked. We can attest that to this. The race, how you were brought up. He's a millionaire. I mean, she has money too, but where did she come from? She came from out here. So then how are we now able to coexist together? Our views and our morals aren't the same.
You have to think who she was around. I'm pretty sure she was around a lot of white people. That's all she really seen, like playing these tennis matches all the way.
Serena has been very cultured.
Maybe that's just her preference. Like maybe that's what she saw.
Well,
that's what she liked.
What if it isn't her preference though? What if it's just she genuinely fell in love with him? And the thing is that I love Black men. I can only see myself being with a Black man, but I mean, if people are going to date outside their race, I just feel like if you're going to do it because you genuinely love that person. Not because you feel like you're trying to spite your counterpart, or because if you're a Black man, you got an issue with Black women because Keisha broke your heart when you was 15.
What?
But no, for real. Like, don't make it seem like, you have an issue against Black women. And same thing with Black women. I mean, like, I'm okay with you being with him as long as you're not over here talking about, oh, well, Black men ain't this and Black men ain't that. I would never down talk a Black man. Never.
Love. That's
but
what
my
I feel
thing
about
is,
this.
you opt out. You have one choice to opt into your race. The one choice that you had, you opted out of your race, and the one choice is that to marry or to be with another Black person. So who's to say if you had a choice to actually pick your race that you would actually opt into your race? That's the one choice. Is our one choice to give back to our race is marrying someone and then producing children. You opt out. Your only choice, you opt out. I'm not okay with that. And then it takes away from the Black population. Like, a mixed child is not the same as a Black and Black parent child.
They just said that we're dying out, though.
Yeah, so that's just adding to the problem. And I feel like there is a Black man out there for Serena. She maybe got tired of waiting, or who knows what. The money may be attracting her. Who knows? But I'm not here for it.
I mean, I'm all about Black on Black love, but I come from a very diverse family, and I believe love, you can't help who you love. So if you fall in, like if I fell in love with a Hispanic guy, like, I just don't think that should be looked at negatively just because that's who I love. You know I
just don't agree. It's not negatively. I really don't. It's neither here nor there. But just as someone who is pro-Black, I don't think that's good for our culture. And I think if you want to really genuinely get all that you can get out of love, I feel like a Mexican or Hispanic would be with a Hispanic. I feel like that's just how it should be.
Well, I will say this though, and we gonna move on, but I do feel like I would, like I said, I would date a black man because I feel like nobody else would. Black people, we understand each other.
Right.
Like you understand what
fair.
it's like to love a black woman or to love a black man. You understand our struggle.
Right.
Like you understand our feelings and the things that we go through and the mental things that we think, what we think, how we feel emotionally.
Right.
I feel like the only person I can really understand that is a black man.
Right.
And me personally, I'ma stick with that.
Right.
Yes.
What's our next?
Yes, and then next, okay, since we're talking about Serena Williams' wedding, let's talk about the looks at her wedding. So, Beyonce was there. She looked amazing with her ponytail. I live for it. Like, you see the way her ponytail was on?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then shout out to her too because she is the highest paid female musician. She's surpassed Taylor Swift. Yeah, earning $105 million this year. So
shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to her.
She had a really good year, though.
She continues to slay my life.
Except for the Grammys, the week Grammys.
To the what?
The week Grammys, the Grammys at the Grammys.
When she performed. Oh, when she lost. Oh yeah. I was still a little bit bitter about that.
Album of the year.
Yeah, but she deserved it though.
I deleted all my Adele albums on my phone because I was mad.
but she's still very, very deserving though. They said that she's still riding on the way of her Lemonade album and her Sold Out Formation tour. So she is amazing. She's magic in every sense. Yes, we love you here at Queen's Table Talk. And then Kelly, Sierra, and Lala, their looks at Serena's wedding. I just thought this was so beautiful. Like, just look at them. Like, look at them queens. Yeah. They just look so beautiful. Yeah. But I love their looks. I loved it. And then Rihanna, she was on the cover of Vogue Paris. She can do no wrong in my eyes. Like I don't know. I don't care what she wears. She just looks flawless every time I see her. I don't know what it is, but she's just so amazing. And I thought her covers were amazing. I think she'd had 3 covers. Yeah. But she's amazing in every way. And then Tracy Ellis Ross, she hosted the AMAs on Sunday. Did you all see that?
She's my girl crush.
I know, that's your girl, huh?
She really is my
girl
crush.
You love Tracy Ellis Ross.
She's just genuinely her. And her Team Murda cracks me up. At one point, I was calling myself A Murda. I'm just saying, but I really do love her. Like, I love her so much.
I like how she was doing the tributes to her mother. I think her and her mother's relationship is really beautiful, and it's really been on the outskirts. We've been able to see it as like the public. So I really appreciate her showing us, positive relationships between a black mother and a black daughter. So shout out to them.
It's so beautiful too. And I've been following her for a long time. Also, she has a new line at JCPenney.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So
I need to go check that out.
Yeah, we all do. I think that she's amazing.
And everybody who says she's ugly, calm that down.
No,
she's beautiful. I love her.
No, for real.
Her eyes,
she has a very unique look.
Exactly. Everybody talks about her eyes.
Oh my God.
Everybody talks about her eyes, like being like just bulging out, and I'm like, her eyes look fine. Leave her alone. But and she like talks about her own eyes, so she said they naturally just like shut down on her. So, but yeah, we love you.
Oh, no, she's amazing.
Right.
And then last week, Eve had made her debut on The Talk. She's now a part of the panel.
That's cool.
On The Talk. That was amazing. It just feels so good to see her because I haven't seen her in a minute.
Have you seen the show?
The Talk?
Yeah.
I've only seen it in clips.
Have you seen it?
Kind of.
I'm not here for the show.
Like, there's too many that
you're not here for The Talk in itself, or you're not here for her on the show?
Well, I'm not here for the show, so then I wouldn't be in support of her being on the show. But the other black lady, her name is skipping me, but she
I know
she's from Steve Harvey. Yeah.
No. That's not Sherry Shepherd.
No.
Cheryl Underwood. That's
Cheryl
her
Underwood.
Yeah. Cheryl Underwood.
Okay, well, them two on their show, they have them speak when it is convenient for like the token black person. And it's not like, oh, we really value your opinion. Like, she spoke about her father not being in the home. Then she spoke about being in the hood. The other black lady, she doesn't really speak too much on the show. It's kind of just like the Asian lady and then, wow, all of these names I'm forgetting. The Asian lady and then the other 2 ladies that really do most of the talking or even most of the reading off the cards. But she hasn't really been able to just speak or just been able to give her point, and I feel like they just don't appreciate it. And like the other black lady, she just basically like sits there and waits to say something goofy, like, and then they have her just say something goofy. Yeah, so I'm not here for it. Like I said earlier, we need our own spaces. Eve is a different story, ties into the Serena thing. Not really here for that either, but. I mean, I feel like it should be on a sister circle. I'm here for sister circle. It's for black women. They're promoting other black women, interviewing other, black people, and I'm here for that. I feel like that would have been a better move just for the culture, and then for her as a person, because you get to be genuinely who you want to be, and it's not like people questioning you like, oh, why did you think this or why did you think that? And Eve, from back in the day, I'm a little confused. Where did you lose your edge? Like, I'm a little confused.
And I was gonna say, I haven't seen Eve in a while.
Did
so
she
I
really?
was excited.
Right.
Yeah.
White man and his friends.
Oh my god.
But I will say this really quick though. I'm really not here for Cheryl Underwood. Because a while ago I was watching the talk. I don't remember when it was, but one day she took her wig off on national TV, and I wasn't here for that.
Why?
Like, why would you take your wig off on national TV?
You probably feel the same way about me taking my braids out at Starbucks.
But come on, you was around us though. Like, it's different. Like me saying, Jasmine, put your hood on.
But do that take away from who she is?
But I'm saying I would not do that in front of.
So don't
white
take
people.
your hood off. Don't take your wig off, but you can wear whatever you want.
What are you talking about? You talking about we going back to
I'm talking about the sexual assault thing that we're talking about. So you can wear whatever you want, but don't take your wig off.
I'm not telling you to get naked.
I'm not saying get naked, but you can wear whatever you want as long as you don't take your wig off.
I'm talking about sexual abuse though, but
no, but I'm saying as a woman we can wear whatever we want as long as we don't take our wigs off.
I'm saying this from a cultural standpoint. I'm not taking off my wig in front of another white person. I'm
It's
not
like,
doing that.
Why?
Don't unveil all the secrets.
But it's not about it being a secret. We're multifaceted. Like
We
I'm
are.
multifaceted, but I'm not taking off my wig in front of you. I'm not doing that.
But I don't get that. I don't get why. What are you protecting?
I wasn't here for it.
I would never do that. I
right.
would never take my wig off in front of like a
But
bunch
I
of
feel
people.
like it's a level of comfortability.
I just feel like I would at least like to have something for myself. Okay, you guys done took everything else from us. At least let me have my wig.
They wear weaves in movies. They wear wigs. They wear all that stuff.
Who do?
White
people. Oh yeah, I know.
But what are they taking from you if you take off your wig?
I'm not saying they're taking anything from me. I'm saying that I would like to at least keep something for myself. As far as like my hair, like no, I'm not taking it off in front of you.
I don't understand the passion in that. Like it's just a wig. It's not even yours.
It's not even yours.
I don't understand. Like we can wear whatever we want, but as long as you don't take off your wig, I don't get that.
I mean, if she feels like she want to do it, go ahead. But for me,
but I'm just saying. But I'm just saying to the point that we brought up earlier. You said we can wear whatever we want, but now it's as long as you wouldn't take off your wig. So my thing is, we gonna give up our goods, but we not gonna give up the way our hair looks.
Who's giving up their goods?
But I'm just saying that's what you said. I'm pinpointing what you said was we can wear whatever we want, and that is fine.
I'm saying no, you can wear whatever you want though at your discretion. Mm-hmm. However, I'm saying though, whatever you wear does not give somebody the right.
I didn't say no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
that's what I said earlier.
So, but I'm pinpointing that you said we can wear whatever we want, right? That's what you said, right? Mm-hmm.
We should be able to wear whatever we want.
That's all I'm saying.
Without anybody, without people using it as an excuse.
Right. Whatever you say after that don't even matter. I'm saying you said that we can wear whatever we want, right? And don't take off your wigs. That's what you said, right?
I feel like you can't. I feel like you really can't correlate the two.
I think she's just saying like don't unveil all the secrets on national TV.
But I'm just saying
like
what
with the braids underneath, with the cap, like just. Like, why
if that's one of your prize secrets,
like,
we gotta get some new secrets.
Like, don't.
I'm not.
We're just saying, like, what I'm getting from what she's saying is like, just don't. Why are you doing that? Because it just you're like uncovering.
What was she saying? She was just making a point, or
she was making a point. She was talking about her hair underneath her wig, and next thing you know, she just like snatched it off.
I think it's a level of.
But I mean, like, I think that's her being like funny, you know.
Oh
but
my
that's
God.
okay. That also goes into what I'm saying is they use her as like a funny little edgy.
But I mean, she is a comedian, right? She's a comedian,
right?
But she seems different on the Steve Harvey show, though. Mm-hmm. She talks about more controversial stuff.
Mm-hmm. She seems like she's more in her element.
Yeah, on the Steve Harvey
show. And that's what
show.
I'm saying is I'm not here for Eve or even her being on that show. Leave that for them. If we gonna protect or not give them all our secrets, why are we teaming up with them? Like I don't get that.
I just don't like that. that it makes her look like kind of like a clown. You know, like I'm just gonna just be out there like that. You know, I don't know.
That's but speaking of hair, really quick, we just want to give a quick shout out to Momo Pixel. She is the creator of Hair Gnaw, the new game about white people touching her hair. So we just want to give a quick shout out to her. She said she was tired of people touching her hair.
I'm about to download it.
Yeah, I'm gonna download it too. But she just wants people to understand how invasive it is for people to touch your hair, and it's true. So do not touch other people's hair. Me personally, I've never had the urge to put my hand in somebody's hair. Like your hair right now. It's cute, but I wouldn't put my hands in your hair.
I was like, right. It was just an awkward experience for me.
Right. No.
So we're gonna. That ends the Black Girl Magic segment. We're gonna segue into a break, and then when we come back, a question from one of our viewers with Dear Queen.
Dear Queen. Be back in 5 minutes.
Well, you know I've been good. God gave me a ways. Boy, you know I've been good. The devil came out to play. Boy, you know I've been good. I got to see another day. I've been working like every day, non-stop. I'm steadfast, the Holy Father, now that's my rock. My girl told me you better keep the consistency. Rap's the only thing matching with my intensity. Every time I start spitting, it brings the best in me. I can finally just tell my mama to rest in peace. Your son got it, our king gave me the release. Love, hope, and the faith, the holy recipe. Boy, you know I've been good, always kept these intentions. People shout their opinions, I do not give them attention. I ignore all the mentions and get right to the business. Like an heir to the company, boy, the devil ain't punking me, but he probably mad though. He plotting against me, and I'm actually glad though. Cause all that means is I'm a serious threat. They say that life is a gamble, and I'm taking on bets. They know this kid is the best. Look, boy, you know I've been good, so why do I gotta doubt? Boy, you know I've been good, and I don't need to ball out. I've been good, I've been good. Time's been rough, but I'm still good. I'm still good. I'm still good. So I gotta hold it down, cause I've been good. Boy, you know I've been good. So I do not need to worry. Hey, boy, you know I've been good. And no, I'm not sorry. Everybody complaining, crying for compensation. I'm just happy I'm breathing. This is my celebration. Loyalty to this movement, living in dedication. If I miss your call, sorry, I'm meditating. Every move that is made, got it premeditated. Got this wedding that's coming, about to graduate soon. God is taking me high, I'm talking hot air balloon. Trying to light up the world, brighter than a full moon. Rappers catching these waves, boy, I'm deeper than Lugia. Now you playing my tape, let my words start moving you. Let them show you a new day, put peace in your mind. Now I know I've been good, but there is greater to find. Boy, you know I've been good, so why do I gotta doubt? Boy, you know I've been good, there ain't no need to ball out. I've been good, I've been good. Time's been rough, but I'm still good. I'm still good, I'm still good. So I gotta hold it down, cause I've been good. Boy, you know I've been good. God gave me away. Boy, you know I've been good. The devil came out to play. Boy, you know I've been good. I got to see another day. Boy, you know I've been good. Yeah.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
What if they started making Trump lace fronts? He ain't got no hair up there, but it's all down there. And I mean, it's fine. I don't give a shit. I'm not fucking.
Well,
her,
we
so
all
it
know
doesn't
now
matter
she's
to
a
me.
natural brunette.
couple minutes.
Oh,
Fucking Steve Harvey,
and we already made it clear. Scumbag Society always will say fuck Steve Harvey.
Fuck that nigga, Steve. Fuck you. Fuck your mustache. Fuck the lady who used
Straight
to make
like
your
that.
wigs.
Be careful. When we're not around our own, it's certain shit that we just don't say.
That's true because we don't want them to get accustomed to thinking that they should be able to.
So I have to catch myself because I've said nigga before in front of white people and I kind of like pull back like, wait, I don't want them to think this is cool.
Right. Tune in every Thursday from 7 to 9 to the Scumbag Society Radio on thehubradio.net.
The Hub Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Queen's Table Talk.
Hey,
yes,
y'all.
yes. If you don't know, you are tuned into Queen's Table Talk on the Hub Radio.
Yes.
We're about to go into our next segment, Dear Queen. Dear Queen is really for all of you out there. If you guys want to send us any questions, send us your thoughts, your comments, anything that you would like us to answer. By all means, we'll read your question here and we'll answer it live. We'll give you our honest, unfiltered advice. Real advice. So, we have a question from one of our viewers. Dear Queens, I have a cousin who will go out of her way to throw me under the bus if I'm getting any sort of attention. When it's just the two of us, there isn't a problem. However, when other people are around, especially men, she purposely tells embarrassing stories or point out a flaw of mine. She's been like this for so long, and I've always brushed it off because we're younger. Now we're both in our mid-20s, and I'm over it. I've confronted her about it, and she got defensive, so we stopped talking for a couple months. Even after that, she still does it. I don't respect anything she does, and I truly believe that she prays for my downfall. What should I do? Cut off my blood/family, or accept it because that's how she is? Please help. What you think?
Cut her off.
What you think?
No, I'm just kidding. I would just say have your space for a little bit. Like, just let it be known. You already told her, so she can see by your actions that you're not here for that. And now that you're older, that shouldn't be continuing on. You guys are too old to be acting. Well, she's too old to be acting like this, acting childish. And I mean, I know somebody who's going through this right now, and I just feel like it's not okay. This is your family. You should be lifting up your own family. Why are you tearing down your cousin? Like, what is the point? It is. That's what I'm getting from this letter. It is jealousy. And the thing is, it's like, you just need to tell her, like, I just need my space right now. And right now I'm doing me. You need to mature up a little bit. And when you're ready, we can work on things. But right now, I just need my space. That's honestly how I would go about the situation.
So me personally, I think that I would create some kind of distance between you two. I'm not saying cut her off completely because that's still your family, but at the same time, I would just create distance because people like that who are jealous, you don't need them in your personal space. You don't need them in your circle. Right. And I feel like you want people around you that are going to be genuinely happy for you and people that are not going to be intimidated by who you are or what you have. Family, friends, whoever. Right. And that's just unhealthy. And it's not healthy for you, and it's definitely not healthy for her. If you can, I really would encourage you to speak something into her to make her feel good about her own self, and tell her, you know what, you're beautiful, or you're this, or I admire this about you, because sometimes that's what people need to hear. Because when people are jealous of somebody else, it's usually because they see an imperfection within themselves. So maybe you, as her cousin, you can take it upon yourself to maybe reach out to her and take that initiative and say, you know what, you're beautiful. I love you for who you are, and just say something to make her feel good. But I would create some distance because that's not cool, and you don't want nobody around you that's jealous and that's envious of you. That's not okay. Right.
And it goes
where I feel like I can't even tell you anything.
And it goes back to how Jasmine always talks about protecting your energy. If this person is giving you negative energy, why would you want that around you all the time? So I'm with the distance.
I feel like it's necessary in this kind of
especially
case.
After you had that conversation already, you let it be known how you feel, and she's not respecting that, then I think a step further needs to be taking place, and you just kind of say, hey, I'm just gonna take a step back.
Right. It just sucks when it's family though, because those are the people that you would think that you'd be the closest to, but yet those are people. She said that she feels like she preys on her downfall. Like, come on now.
Right. And they're all in the same age, so they have to be pretty close. Exactly. So the fact that you're still doing this for how, like, since you guys were kids is ridiculous.
Did she say that she tried to talk to her? Or?
Yeah, she said that when she brought it up, she said I confronted her about it and she got defensive, so we stopped talking for months.
Right.
I mean, y'all, we gotta understand, like she said, protect your energy. Family is not a necessity for you to be around. You can definitely find connections with other people, but you gotta get to the point where family is not a necessity. Like, you're your own necessity, and if your family is posing to be negative, then you have a right to opt out of hanging around them. There are a whole bunch of people who don't go to family functions or who don't associate with their family, and that is fine. You have to understand and find a balance and such, and you have to also be able to voice that, and if it's not working, then you have to understand, like, you don't have an obligation to your family.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You really don't. You have an obligation to yourself. That's at the end of the day. Like, you could think, I have an obligation to my friends. No, you have an obligation to yourself above all. So there's a point that comes where you don't have to be around your cousin. You don't.
Right.
There's no rule that says that you have to. You're not cutting her off as a family member, but you can choose who you want to be around and who you don't want to be around. And if that's one of the people, protect your energy in that manner. Nobody is no respecter person. Is my energy is what comes first, and if you're getting in the way of me having a positive energy, then you have to go.
You have the right to fight for your peace.
Exactly.
So if your peace is being disturbed, you have a right to say something about that. You have the right to act upon it so that it can become better. So that's why space is necessary.
Right, I agree with you, and it goes back to why we're here. Our whole theme is discover, unlock, and protect your magic. And I feel like when you have issues of jealousy and stuff, like maybe she doesn't see it within herself, and hopefully, maybe she can watch QTT, but so she can discover her own self and discover her own magic and just be happy with who she is and be happy within her own beauty or even with her own lifestyle. Because sometimes people are not even jealous of the way that you look. Sometimes people are jealous of what you have and what they don't have.
Right.
So
that's very true.
Exactly. So like I said, you just gotta, like I said, me, because that is your family, I'm just a person, like I like to protect my energy, but at the same time, I only try one time. And I would just try to lift her up in any way that I can. And just whenever I see her, I'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing? I like your outfit. Or, I like your hair. You look really nice
Or
today.
how are you doing?
Like, do something. Like, give her some kind of positive reinforcement, because it's clear, like, when people act like this, they're looking for attention. Because, like, I don't have to put you down to get attention.
Right.
It's like, you can get, if you are who you are and you are authentic in everything that you are, then you don't have to put down the next person to make yourself feel better or to make yourself feel like you're more than what you are. You're trying to overcompensate for something.
And
go ahead.
Make sure, because when issues come up, we always like to come for the person, but we have to also make sure whoever sent it in, make sure whatever it is that you are doing isn't attracting that, because at some point in time, if it keeps coming back or if it keeps happening, you're allowing it. One, you can't allow that. You have to speak up for yourself and not allow it. And then two, maybe it's something that you're doing that's causing the feelings or whatever to happen. And we have to also understand that most of the time when negative situations happen or when we're complaining about something, it's not just on the other person or the other party that's involved. We are also doing something that is causing a shift or a negative balance in the reoccurrence or whatever. So we have to also make sure, and even if it's a minor thing, sometimes that minor thing can cause a huge shift. But whoever wrote in the letter, also make sure and examine yourself first and look to see if there are things that you can do that are different, or maybe the first time you addressed it, you didn't address it to the point where she was receptive to it. So then we need to go back and see, okay, how can I address this in a way that wouldn't get her to be so defensive? So that goes back to self-work. We don't do enough of it. So then when we come up against people that maybe have something going on, we don't know how to combat them or to get to a point of just handling a situation, a negative situation, in the best way possible. So definitely check yourself, check whatever it is that you're doing, and then try to move positively. I would say before you even go to her, like if you're listening to, before you even try to address her or hit her up or whatever, you sit with yourself and see like if everything you've been doing is on a scale of just positivity. Just see that. So after you do that, if you feel like you need to hit her, if you feel like the changes that you made aren't working, then go ahead and press your issue. But if not, then we got to start within ourselves.
I just want to encourage the person who wrote the letter in and just say that don't lose hope. I know this is your cousin. I know you want to love her because this is your family. But I would just say don't lose hope. The space that you're going to take, if you do decide to take it, will help you to have time to reflect, and it will allow her to reflect, like, dang, well, maybe she's bringing something to me that I really need to think about how I'm acting towards her. So I would just say don't lose hope, because you've been dealing with this for such a long time, because you said since you were a kid. So I just want to say, you know, be encouraged pretty much. Because that's for a long time. That's a long time. Since you were little kids to your 20s now, that's a really long time.
That is a
to
long
be
time.
dealing with something like this.
Right, and now it's more intensified.
Exactly.
Because y'all are older and you guys are getting your own lives.
And you probably have like one life. She probably has a different life, and it's probably totally opposite. And it's just
But going back to what Jasmine said when she was talking about the way doing a self-reflection, how she confronted her, I really didn't think about that. That's a good point to bring up because. When she did confront her, you know, how did you confront her? Right. Did you say, oh, well, you know, you're jealous? Because, I mean, nobody's going to admit they're jealous. I mean, it's like how did you bring it to her? Did you say, you know what, I didn't like the fact that you brought up, you know, whoop, whoop, whoop around old boy? Or did you say, you know what, when you do this, it makes me feel like, you know? But it's a matter of how you connect with people. So I would encourage you, when you say you did confront her about it, think about that. How did you confront her? Was there a better way that you could have came at her and addressed the situation with her? Because you say she got defensive. And, you know, usually when people feel like they're getting attacked, they become defensive. Right. So that would be something, like I said, I would highly encourage you to do a self-reflection on. Right. But, you know, and hopefully you guys can get a dialogue going because it's clearly something that's deeper that's going on between you two. Or even within her is something that's deeper.
Sorry. But on the other hand, I don't think you can, I don't know how to really say this. Sometimes people get defensive because they know what they're doing, and they get defensive like, oh, I'm not doing that, to kind of deflect of what they're doing. And sometimes I feel like people are automatically going to get defensive because they don't want you to be right in the situation. I understand what you guys are saying, but I'm saying there's the other hand where she could be defensive because everybody sees it, everybody knows it's happening, and she doesn't want to admit to what's going on.
Well, then you change your approach, because even like when it comes
to... But how many times can you approach somebody if this is... I'm pretty sure this is not the first time she's confronted her.
Well, she said she only mentioned one time.
No, I'm just saying, like, if it's been going on this long, I'm saying, like, if this isn't the first time, then how many more times can you say this to a grown person who's 20 years old that they need to stop acting childish like that?
So, like at my job, and even when I work with the kids and when I coach the college students or the college girls, the college women, I should say, my boss is constantly telling me, who's the head coach, it's like, okay, they're not getting it, they're the same age, and it's something that they've been doing their whole life, same scenario, been doing their whole life, and it's some things that they're just not getting. They've been playing basketball their whole life, but some things they're just not picking up with. And he would tell us, you keep going and you keep saying it until they get it. So if this is your family member and you really love her and you don't want to disassociate yourself with her, then you keep saying it until they get it. Also, when it comes to the children, when I'm teaching middle school, it's to a point where if they're not understanding the math, I can't go to the principal and go, I've tried 20 different ways to teach this little boy how to do this math problem and he doesn't understand it. What the answer to me, or even as what I have to get in my head, is I need to change my approach. A lot of the times, because we don't do our self-work, we don't see the flaws in our approach. So clearly, if you're approaching her and she's getting defensive every time, your approach isn't soft enough to the point where she can actually hear you. Sometimes the conversation doesn't need to be, oh, you doing this or you doing that. Sometimes it needs to be, okay, so have you ever felt like this, or have you ever did this before? You do need to change your approach. I
understand what you're saying about changing your approach, but at the same time, it's like, I'm telling you one thing, and you know that it's going on, because you bluntly are telling, embarrassing things in front of other people. You know you're doing that. Come on now. Like, we can't always put it on the other person, like, oh,
Maybe
their
sometimes
approach,
people are so
like,
comfortable with
because
feeling
sometimes it's just black and white. You're tearing somebody down,
but
and
honestly,
sometimes it is a black.
But
down.
sometimes sometimes people don't have that self-awareness about themselves.
But if if I'm telling you that you're doing something, and then you're like, no, I'm not doing that, but I'm like, okay, look, this is what you just did. Then how are you gonna?
People don't like.
I'm not gonna keep. That's when I distance myself, because I'm not gonna keep doing that. Because then, how do we keep our peace? Like we just said earlier, if I keep saying the same thing, confronting you, doing, like changing my approach, I may change it every other time, and then it's like the same.
But if you're gonna distance yourself, then don't bring up how many times she didn't change. Forget her and her change. If you're gonna already distance yourself, I don't care. I don't care if you're gonna change or not, because I'm gonna distance myself. So we can't go, she's not changing, but I'm gonna distance myself
forever, because that's her family.
Okay,
she's gonna see her at the next.
But
she's gonna see her the next time.
But I'm just saying, go back and forth.
I'm just saying we can't always put it on the other person.
Nobody put it on the person. I'm just saying, if we want to be effective in that, and like when I go into my segments, I always talk about self-work. With Gates Presents. So if we want to be effective in that, we need to also examine ourselves. And I don't think we can go and say, we can ask her, oh, have you completely examined yourself and seen that what you have been doing has been above reproach? And I don't think that, because a lot of times, even when I examine myself, I get to a point where it's like, I didn't do that right. So as many times as we think, people are human. People hurt the same, in the same way we hurt, but we don't look at people like that. We just see, oh no, you acting like this, but we don't think, oh, when I was acting like that, there was a problem that I was facing that day. We just say, oh no, you doing this, you doing that. Okay, so what about how she was raised? What about if her mother or her father was in the picture? What about if somebody passed away at some point in time? Like, we have to take that into account. If you're going to cut them off, then forget about the change that they're making. But if you're going to stay there, stop complaining about that. And that's the same thing with culture. If we're going to if we want to make a difference, stop complaining about the people that you need to change. Because if you're really working the culture and there wasn't people that needed to be changes, there wouldn't be a need for you. So don't complain about something that you want to feel a purpose in. If you don't want to be around that person, then just move on. But if you want to see a change, stop complaining that she's not changing. Get over it, or you stay there.
That's her family, so there's gonna be some time when she.
But it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying there's two sides, like the whole confrontation thing, changing up your purpose, but then at the same time, it could just be, she's just mean to her. So I can see both sides, but what do you have today?
So I'm gonna go into my segment of Gates Presents. You guys know, with culture and everything, like I was saying, we can't really get to a point, we can't be in something and complain about it in the same way. Like, if it is something that we are doing, or if it's something that you're trying to push for, you definitely cannot try to push for it and complain that people are not being changed in that aspect. And a person a queen, I guess we could say, she commented or mentioned us, sent us a message and asked about us talking about depression. So that is what I will be talking about. That is something that it is dear to me, because it is something that stems in the black community heavy, especially in black women. Black women are the most underrated group that is the most undertreated group in America. And it's really a sad thing, because we don't go out and we don't express our feelings about it. We don't go and get diagnosed about it in the same way with mental illness. Being depressed is a form of mental illness, but it's something that we turn a cheek to, something that we don't really pay attention to. And in reading about it and studying, they were saying that a lot of us as black women will go into the doctor and will explain our depression as a physical aching. So a lot of the times we're going to the hospital and saying, oh, like my arm is hurting, or it's something in my neck or something like that, or my ear is not hurting. But a lot of the times, because we've been ignoring the depression for so long, now it's starting to become a physical ailment that we're dealing with. And now when we go to the doctor, it's like, I can't get rid of this pain. And I've seen it so many times. A lot in the church, actually, where people are just hurting and they're like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to trust God and I'm going to do this. And my thing to that is, I'm a firm believer. I have faith in God and I'm a Christian, but you can't use Christianity as a crutch. Mm-hmm. It can't be, oh, I'm going to trust God, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But then we also have to understand, God put therapists on this earth. God put doctors on this earth. Why would he give someone that innate ability to serve the people or to help bring wellness to people if we're not going to use it? So when it comes to us feeling like we're off, or feeling as if something is not aligned and stuff, definitely, like 1,000%, go get checked out. Go see therapists. We'll try to post something this week. I'll try to post it tomorrow. There is a Therapy for Black Girls page, and I strongly suggest people going to go follow that page. It's therapyforblackgirls.com. Follow that page and start your journey on trying to find a therapist. There's a whole bunch of It's not a lot, but there's enough of Black therapists out here that you can identify with, that can identify with you. And another problem with depression in the Black community is that we are misdiagnosed, that the people that we are going to, they don't know exactly what we are dealing with because they've never dealt with it. There are things that that are symptoms of or that lead up to depression, and that's living in poverty, that's parenthood, that is racism or facing like segregation or discrimination, and those are all things that Black people suffer from the most. And especially with Black women, when it comes to being a single mother, they said parenting also plays a part in depression. So if you're a single mother, you now have this load of now 2 roles that are now put on you. And you brought up Blackish, about how I love what Blackish is doing this season, and they're attacking issues in the Black community. And I remember, I think it was like the 2nd episode where the mom, I think she had PTSD or something from after giving birth to her last child. And looking at that, and seeing a Black man become educated and took his wife to the doctor, that's something that really stood out to me, because it's something that we don't see in a lot of women. They don't tell their counterparts about what's going on. So sometimes we don't give them a chance to care about it. And I think we really do need to start talking about those things and opening up and going, okay, I've been feeling like in a slump for the past 3 days or for just this day, and I'm not normally like this. And speak up when it gets to that point, because you can definitely go into a therapist and get what you need from them. But it definitely, what we have to understand, in the same way that you look for a compatible partner, you need to look for a compatible therapist, because they won't be able to address the issues that you are feeling if they've never really been through it or they've never seen it. And with Black people, they give us pills and they say, okay, no, you're going to be okay. And I've seen it in education with the boys in middle school. I remember getting a class and I had them for 2 weeks and I'm teaching them. I don't have any of their IEPs, and IEPs is basically for those that have learning disabilities. I don't have any of those packets. They give it to me 2 weeks later, and it's about 14 of them in my one class. And I'm like, well, I see about 2 people who, have learning disabilities, but the other 12 were all black young boys who had anger issues because they didn't have somebody that was teaching them how to combat their emotions. So what happens is they get into these school systems and they're not able to control them because they can't talk them out of things. And then they send them to these counselors who are not relatable to these young boys. And they're typically Hispanic or white, even in the inner city schools. And they send them out and then they go, okay, yeah, I can't deal with him, so we're going to give him an IEP, which basically means he has a learning disability. He doesn't have a learning disability, but we're going to label it as anger management because we cannot deal with him, when that's not the case. When the case is that he does not know how to deal with his emotions. So if we give him a way to deal with his emotions, he wouldn't be dealing with anger management. And that's the same thing with depression. If we learn how to deal with our emotions effectively and we get someone that can identify with what we are going through to tell us, oh, okay, this is what you're going through right now. I definitely can identify with it. I'm not going to put you on medication, but I'm going to help you work through this because I know how it feels. Or I saw my mom or I saw people in the community that I was brought up in go through these same things. When you get someone that isn't able to reach you on that level, we now have like the young boys that I taught that are put on medication simply because they aren't able to control their emotions. Not control themselves, but their emotions. So they're put on medication. And they dose it up. They'll ask the teachers who also can't relate to these students. They'll ask them, oh, how is so-and-so doing? And if you say, oh, he's been acting up because you don't know how to deal with them, they will up the dosage based on what the teacher is saying because they are not relatable. So please understand how important it is for you to get a therapist that is compatible to you. The Black community, we as a whole need to stop sweeping it under the rug and understand that it is not something that you can just say, oh, you're crazy or just wave your hand to. It is something that we all go through.
it's really a serious thing, and it's as simple as you feeling like you're in a slump for an entire day. That is something that you need to address, that you need to speak about, journal about it, go, seek for a therapist. But we allow those feelings and we go, oh, I'm in a slump for 2 days, and then it stems for 2 weeks, and then we still don't. So then we start to lash out on people, or we start to just act negatively. But it's something that the Black community, we need to address it in a different way, and that's mental illness and physical ailments as well. We are not accepting of being diagnosed with these things, and it's really something sad. It's really a sad thing. But if you are if you know someone, or if you are dealing with that, I strongly suggest you either send them to Therapy for Black Girls, or you yourself go on to Therapy for Black Girls, and just see if you can find somebody that's in your area. You can pick a state, pick a city. They will pair you up with some relatable. They're relatable to culture, and they're able to, flip and change perspectives and all of that. Those are the kind of therapists that they reach out to. So that is it on depression. Thank you to our viewer that sent in that question. If you have any more for me or for any of us, make sure you hit us in our DMs. But we're going to hear from... we're going to go on a break. My bad. We're going to go on a break. So we're going to start to a break. Thank you guys for listening.
And then when we come back, we will be with a little bit of Lovely.
Yeah.
Coco's Lip Smacking Cupcakes offers custom cakes and cupcakes for every occasion. We proudly bake everything from scratch. With every moist and mouth-watering bite, you will be smacking your lips by the time you are finished. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Lip Smacking Cupcakes.
Allow me to give you something to think about. Not everything that comes out of Compton is bad. I mean, we have Dr. Dre, The Game, Kendrick Lamar, Venus and Serena Williams, that little girl with the dream, Maya Agent Brown. P. Diddy couldn't have said it better. This is the fairy tale, man. And fairy tales do come true, because we got millions of cats that are coming up with that hustling spirit and drive. They got that mention, that drive. Bill Lyons had that drive to overcome all obstacles. Bill Lyons isn't just a clothing line or just a brand. It's a movement. Bill Lyons is Compton. Compton is Bill Lyons. Respect the perspective. Bill Lyons.
Cleanup Man. We provide professional, affordable, dependable services from carpet cleaning and upholstery to flooring, 7 days a week, same day or by appointment. So call, text, or message 562-279-6488 for service as good as advertised.
The Hub Radio.
Coach Tony Robinson. I'm an author, mentor, motivational speaker, and CEO of the Concrete Rose Foundation. Why I started the Concrete Rose Foundation? It's simple. I love helping people. There's nothing more rewarding in life than to help someone else and not expect anything back in return. The Concrete Rose Foundation is all about going out into the communities and helping people. We have a bullying campaign. We feed the homeless. The Concrete Rose Foundation is about going into the communities and helping families build strong foundations for our youth today.
Shout out to Ashley on the fucking board, this motherfucker. Hey, I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, hold up, wait. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, shut up. I just be doing whatever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, hold up. I just be doing whatever. I'm smoking the wood. Went to the club with the homies. Left the club to the hood. Left the hood to a plane. Left a plane to a show. I just be doing whatever. But you wouldn't know. I made a sandwich with bacon. I got the munchies from bacon. Hoes think that I'm famous. So I tell them I'm famous. I went to the shop. I bought me a half. Shout out to Wilmington. They be having the gas. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, hold up, wait. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, shut up. I just be doing whatever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, hold up. I just be doing whatever. Fell asleep on the board.
With lovely Leah.
So
What
hey
you got for us
queens,
today, girl?
hey. So today I'm gonna get into moisture again, but different methods that you guys can use during this winter season, because you know the weather's gonna be harsh on your curls and your natural hair. So we're gonna be talking about the lock method versus the LCO method. So the lock method is basically liquid, which is your leave-in, oil, and cream. And just I'm gonna be getting into the different ways you can do your hair with these methods and which one works better for which type of hair. So for the lock method, so the L stands for liquid or leave-in. So the lock method, you want to get a leave-in that has the first ingredient being water, unless you use water, of course. But the L can stand for liquid or leave-in, and then you're going to use oil on top of that leave-in, and then you're going to use cream. So the oil can be whatever oil you choose, you know, in your kitchen, or you like a specific oil, whatever your preference is, use whatever. And your cream just needs to be like really thick. It doesn't have to be necessarily heavy. It could be a style milk, because I really like style milks. But just something that's a creamy consistency. And then the LCO method, which is the switching of the oil and the cream. So you're going to do your leave-in first, like usual, and then you're going to do your cream second, and then third, you're going to do the oil. I personally like the LCO method. I've tried both, but the LCO method just makes more sense to me, just due to the fact that oil is a sealant, and it just makes more sense to do the oil last, since it can like seal in all those all that moisture and like all those other products that you just put in. So it's more so for high porosity hair and for like tighter curls, like 4C curls and stuff like that. But I personally like this better, and that's what I did today for my hair. I did twisted Bantu knots, and I didn't leave them in for that long, but I did my leave-in, which I used Cantu leave-in repair cream, and then I used my Cantu cream smoothie or curl smoothie or something like that, and then I used my my oil. So honestly, it's just really up to you. On the website happycurlhappygirl.wordpress.com, she kind of made a lot of sense when she was talking about both of them. She referred to the LCO method as being like your liquid being a thermal, like in the cold season, a thermal, and then your cream being a sweater that you put on top of that. and then the oil being your like overall big coat. So that just made a lot of sense to me, like just how to kind of layer on the protection and how to lock in that moisture. So that's the main difference. A lot of people do the lock method. That's how I originally found out about the methods, and then I saw that some people like reversed it, and I was like, that just makes more sense to me.
So it's
leave-in, oil, and then cream for the lock method, and then it's leave-in, cream, and then oil for the LCO. So it just depends on your hair. But yeah, just you need extra protection during the winter season because of the wind, and like if you're in the snowy areas and stuff, it's just really, really harsh. So this method I use for my twist outs, my braid outs, my bantu knots. If you're just gonna do some like cornrows going back, some flat twists, like you can use this method for anything, and it's super easy. You just put layer on top of layer, and you should do it on freshly washed hair though. That's the thing, because you don't want a lot of product build up, because then your head is gonna start getting itchy and all this stuff. So I always do this on, clean hair, you know, or I'll do like a refresher with like the cream and then like some oil or something like that. But yeah, did I make that easy enough?
You did. I was studying it. I've always heard of like the LOC method and the LCO method, but I never like actually read into it.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, I've done it though, but not without knowing that there was a name to it.
Yeah, I think it's just automatically like we know to like seal in with the oil and like have the cream and all that stuff. So it's really easy. Like everybody's probably already doing it. They just don't know that there's like an actual method to it. You know what I mean? So I mean,
I do the LOC one. Well, that's when you do liquid oil, then cream. Yeah, I do the LOC.
You do LOC?
Yeah.
For me, I just feel like my hair dries faster when I do that. Because when you put the oil in, like, you can probably still feel a little oil in my hair. It seals everything in. You know what I mean? And then some people do too. Like, at first, when I first became natural, I would overdo with the products. You don't need that much products. Like, where your hair would just be, like, sopping wet with the products. But now that I've learned, you don't need that much. So just having like a little bit of oil in your palm and you just like going down, it'll seal it in. But I just feel like the cream for me, it just sits on top. Like it really doesn't like soak in, because the oil, have you ever seen oil and water and how they don't really like mix? Yeah. That's what I think of. So it just doesn't make sense to me to put the oil before the cream, because it won't get, the cream won't get in.
What kind of oil do you use?
I use more regularly olive oil. Yeah, because I do not like coconut. I tried it and it just sits on my hair. It's too heavy. So
have you ever tried the black castor oil?
Yes.
I use that up on my hair.
You use it by itself because the smell is just too much.
You know what? It's the one I have. It's like a minty. It kind of smells minty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you probably have to mix it with something.
It's a Jamaican. It's a Jamaican black castor oil that I use. And after I wash my hair, I have like a little water bottle. I'll spray my hair, and then I put oil up in it, and then I'll use the cream. I believe the one that I have is like this olive oil based cream.
Is it the Oars? With the green.
No, it's a white container that it comes in, but I use that whenever I do like a twist out or bantu knot. But I always do the oil first.
Yeah, and then you can use water too. You don't even need a leave-in. It's just as long as the first ingredient is water, but you could just use water and then put the cream and then the oil. But I mean, it's up to you.
All right.
It just depends.
What you put in your hair?
What kind of oil?
I use olive oil, and I use the Cream of Nature, the like intensive leave-in conditioner, and I use the Cantu's coconut curling cream for like just a daily thing, and then I use lotions. I think lotions are good, like hair lotions are good. It's used as like if just in the same sense of you being like ashy or whatever. So I'll use that to like revitalize like my hair throughout the day, because my hair is super, super dry. Yeah. Well, not super dry, but it's just very absorbent of like everything that I put in it. But yeah, that's pretty much the main things. And I'm glad that I've like honed in on like 3 things. But yeah, just.
And to refresh, you could just put in a spray bottle some water and a little bit of your leave-in and just shake it, and it can kind of like refresh your
hair. My hair doesn't do well because it if it's not like a lotion base or like a cream base, it will like the water or the liquid will like just make it do stuff I don't want it to do. has to be like a thick, because my hair just eats up everything. So it has to be a super thick, not super thick, but just a thick cream. Like, and the Motions hair lotion is like golden to me.
Well, that's a little bit of lovely for you, and now we're gonna get into Mo Knows Best.
Mo Knows Best.
What do you know, girl?
What
Let
do
us
I
know.
know,
What do you
y'all?
know?
What
Let
do
us
I
know.
know, y'all? Okay, so as you guys know, we are in the spirit of Thanksgiving. So today, I really wanted to touch on being able to give thanks and show gratitude. And this is something that I'm very, very passionate about because, like I said before earlier in the show, I love Thanksgiving, and I'm really, really big on just being grateful for all that you have. And a couple weeks ago, one of my friends, she was telling me that she wanted me to give her some advice because she said that she was just unhappy at where she was in her life. And sometimes I feel like with millennials, with all of us being in our 20s, people kind of put us on a timeline to where you feel like we should have this or we should have that, to where they always say trust the process, but it's easier said than done. And what I told her was that the easiest thing that what I do, I always make sure that I'm grateful for where I am in the moment. And that could be with anything, whether you want a new job, a new car, whether you want a new home, a new living situation, whatever it is, I'm so big about being grateful, because if you want to get to the next place up in your life, you can't get to the next place in your life and still be complaining about what you have now. So it makes no sense for you to complain now, and then when you get the new thing, you complain about that as well. So like I said, I'm very, very big upon that. And me, I don't think that I have it all together, but with everything that I do have, I know that I started from somewhere to where it has humbled me to where I appreciate everything that I have now. A couple of years ago when I was in school, I drove this '98 Ford, and my brother used to call it the Red Rocket because it was like this red color. It was so loud. It was a loud color and it had a loud engine. And I didn't have, all I had up on me was like $1,200, and that's all I could afford because I didn't have no credit back then. So I got that car, I was driving it around, and even though, like, you know, we used to make jokes like, you know, it's my little hoopty, but I was still grateful because I know there are some people out there who don't even have transportation, people who are still taking the bus, people who don't even know how they're going to get from point A to point B. So I'm grateful for that in that sense. And then eventually, after that car, the transmission went out upon me. I was, you know, blessed enough to get a car that was current. I think it was 2015. I was able to get a 2015 Honda. And then now it's in 2017, you know, I was blessed enough to upgrade it to a 2017 car. So, but when it comes down to it, though, I was grateful in the hoopty, I was grateful in the 2015, and I'm grateful in the car that I have now. And that's really all it comes down to, is just being able to be grateful. I used to work at McDonald's a couple of years ago, and I'll tell you right now, I used to come home smelling like Big Macs and frappes every single day, and I hated it. But I was still grateful for a job, because I know there's some people out there who don't have jobs, people who out there don't have a means of income, they don't have a stream of income, they don't know how they're paying their bills, they don't know how they're gonna make it from this month to that month. So I'm grateful for that. Even now with my new job, I have to get up at I wake up at 4:30 every morning. I'm not a morning person, but I don't complain. I try not to complain about it, because there are some people who get up in the morning with nowhere to go. They don't have a reason to get up in the morning. They don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anything to look forward to before 9 o'clock. So I'm grateful for that. Traffic, no traffic, whatever, job or no job. Even when I told you guys last week that I had quit my last job because I wasn't happy. Even though I wasn't happy, I had to catch myself all the time because I would find myself complaining. And I had to stop that, because even though I wasn't happy, going back to what I said before, there are people out there who don't have jobs. And for me to be fresh out of college and go and to graduate with the job that's lining up for me, I know people I graduated with who still don't even have jobs. So we have to be grateful in that sense, especially with us being in our 20s. It's so easy just to think about the things that we don't have, and to think about the things that we want, and to think about where we want to get to. But you have to trust the process. Be humble during the process. During the process, it builds character. It makes you humble. So when you do get those things, you're able to appreciate them more. So if you're a brat when you got a hoopty, you're gonna be a brat when you got the BMW. So you have to continuously be cognizant of that in your mind. I don't know if you guys are out there spiritual, whoever you believe in, but me, I believe in God, and I believe truly that God does not bless you in your ungratefulness. And you have to be grateful in all that you have, and you know, and that will put you over to the next edge, and that will prepare you for what he has for you in the future. What you guys think?
I like
how y'all feel?
I think it's a good topic with Thanksgiving coming in a couple days. I think it's just a nice reminder that we should just be grateful for everything that we do have and not always be negative, like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Just be grateful that you even have family. Some people don't even have just family or friends. So just being grateful for the people that you have in your life. I'm grateful for you guys, definitely, and this show. I think that's what I'm going to say on Thursday. Oh. Yeah. But yeah, I think everybody should just be grateful.
No, seriously. And like I said, even like if you're not happy in your current situation, job, car, house, even if you don't like your living situation right now, there's people who don't even have people who don't have a place to stay. They don't have a roof over their head. So, like I said, you may not like it right now, but in the midst of you maybe not liking it, you're working towards something greater. But in you working towards something greater, you're still showing thanks and you're still saying, you know what, I'll be happy in this sense with whatever it is that I have. Because I know that it could be worse. And there's some people out there who want what you have, who wish they could be up in your shoes. Exactly. And when you take yourself out of the equation, when you take that selfishness out of the equation, then you will remain humble, and then you will remain, aware of yourself, and you'll remain aware of your blessings.
Yeah, I think it's imperative. I know, for me, kind of growing up being sheltered, I didn't really see a lot until I got out of my parents' house, and just being, and even like when I'm teaching and a lot of the kids that I come into contact with at the Boys and Girls Club as well, being able to listen and taking myself out and just being able to sit there. I know I started teaching summer programs when I was a sophomore, and it was out here in Compton, and I remember sitting there and hearing the kids' stories and going back to my house and thinking my house was so huge because these kids have been through a lot. And a lot of the times we need to stop, or we need to get out of where we are or where we live and go and see what other people are going through. Because a lot of the times when you're born and raised somewhere, you only see that and that becomes your normal thing. But especially this holiday season with Thanksgiving coming up, try to get into something where you're giving to people and you actually see. I know where I do my events in downtown LA, there's homeless people out there all the time, and I typically, whatever ticket sales that I make from that event, some of the money goes to them, or we'll get food or something because it's a restaurant where we also go. We'll give them the drinks that we had that were left over and stuff like that. So just seeing people and seeing them being on the street, or seeing kids go through a lot of stuff, that will definitely change your perspective. But it will make you grateful for, like Mo was saying, for every single thing that you have. Like, it's kids out here that are going through more than each of us together have been through, and stuff we probably couldn't have went through. But it really just makes you appreciate what you've been given in the life that you've been given, even if it is hard to get up every day. It's truly a blessing to just be able to live a life, because some people are sick. There's illnesses. There's a lot of stuff that limits people. So that's just something I feel is something that's necessary. It's just given to those that are unfortunate or don't have what you have this holiday season, because we sit up and we eat and do all of that, but what about people that don't have it? Are we just going to be like selfish in a way, or not give to them? So that's something that I would definitely like challenge the listeners to find something. If it's not this Thanksgiving, do something for Christmas, or even just on a random day, and just go help some families or something like that.
Right. And then also too, just going back to what I said before, it's okay to want more, and it's okay to not feel like your situation is the most ideal, but always remember that there's somebody out there that has less than you have. And even when you find yourself, I really encourage you, I challenge you, if you find yourself complaining about something, I don't care what it is, if you find yourself complaining, just stop and find something positive to say about that situation, and find something good to say. There's good in everything that you see. Even in the worst circumstances, there's something that's good, and something that that's beneficial that you can find out of it. But I just don't want us to get caught up in that whole feeling of feeling like we have to have everything right now, and I have to have it right now, and I gotta have this car, I gotta have this house, I gotta have this, I gotta have that, and it has to be like this. No, everything doesn't work like that, and success doesn't work like that, and success is a process. So please be.
I think we talked about that, being a perfectionist, and just realizing, like, when we say we're not comfortable, or people like to say, like, oh, you know, I'm a perfectionist, I like things this way, but, like, at some point in time, you're not accepting where you are right now, and it's something that you don't like about where you are right now. So my thing is, like, have checkpoints and make sure you're getting through what it is that you need to get through. But just saying, like, I'm never where I want to be, or I'm constantly on the move to get to somewhere else, that's not good on the mental, because what you're saying has weight to it. And if you're always saying, like, I want to be this, or I know I'm not this, but I'm trying to, it's a constant battle, and you don't want to put your mental through a constant battle with just, like, oh, what we can't, your mental through a constant battle of just not knowing what to do, or trying to always be something that you're not.
Right.
So
we're going to take, thank you all for watching Mono's Best. Thank you so much for your input. We are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to close out the show. Give us 5 minutes.
The Hub Radio.
I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, hold up, wait. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, shut up. I just be doing whatever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, hold up. I just be doing whatever. I'm smoking the wood. Went to the club with the homies. Left the club to the hood. Left the hood to a plane. Left a plane to a show. I just be doing whatever. But you wouldn't know. I made a sandwich with bacon. I got the munchies from bacon. Oh, think that I'm famous. So I tell them I'm famous. I went to the shop. I bought me a half. Shout out to Wilmington. They be having the gas. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, hold up, wait. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, shut up. I just be doing whatever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, hold up. I just be doing whatever. Fell asleep on the porch. The cop just passed. They always hot on the north. I ain't never been a dork. Damn, you can't see me on the court, man. Getting hot is my sport. Yeah, never will I pass the torch. Black pants, what's a black lens? What's a pussy in my brain? That's a CAT scan. They say they know me, you should ask them. Thrift store, baby, fuck fashion. I just be wearing whatever. You could tell by my tees. You could tell she a hoe. Just look at her knees. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, hold up, wait. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, shut up. I just be doing whatever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, hold up. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, hold up, wait. I just be doing whatever. I just be doing, shut up. I just be doing whatever. Whatever, wherever, whenever. Whatever, wherever, whenever.
back, and we're going to give our last remarks.
Yes, yes.
Give our last remarks. So like, we're gonna give
the
our
benediction.
last
I tried to do it real
like
real smooth and chill. I was coming off of the song that was playing. I like that song.
The benediction.
Right, the
QTT.
benediction.
Yes.
Does anybody want to come up here and accept one personal
Shout out to
statement?
J-Mo in the building.
being a queen.
Shout out to him.
We got some
hi,
conversation
J-Mo.
pieces for J-Mo.
Yes, we do.
So we'll bring it up a different show. We'll have you on.
We don't have enough time to get into it.
Right.
We can bring Dre in too, because I see you over there.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't even think the show is long enough for us to go.
Right.
For us to
hold
have
up
this
his sign.
conversation with them.
Put a mic back there.
It's not
Dre
funny.
back there.
It's really not funny.
We got you.
But no. They over here cutting up. I can't look over there.
Right. J-Mo is actually being chill, which is surprising.
Right.
He's a chill person, which, you know, makes the conversation piece more surprising. But
oh my goodness.
It's all good. We love you, J-Mo. We're not judging you.
We're not judging.
We're not. At least not on air, we're not. But
I'm not judging you off air.
I'm secretly judging. No,
she said
kidding.
secretly. You're
I'm
funny. You're funny. Okay, but y'all know for real. It's been a pleasure sitting here with y'all. Our second episode down. Oh my goodness. It's going by so fast. I know it has, right? It's been a pleasure sitting here with y'all and growing with y'all and the conversations that we have. Though I'm here for all of it. So you guys, we are here every Tuesday from 7:30 to 9:30 here on the Hub Radio. Please follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at Queen's Table Talk. Like us on Facebook, Queen's Table Talk. And also, too, if you have any questions, comments that you would like to hit us with, by all means, DM us. We answer all of them. As you can see, we did the Dear Queen, and then also we had somebody reach out to us about touching on mental illness, and then we did that today. So, like I said, the show is for you all. So if there's anything that you would like us to talk about, by all means, hit us up and let us know. Hit us up with your questions for Dear Queen. We love answering questions here. Yes, indeed. And also be on the lookout for our hashtags during the week. Hashtag Magic Monday. Magic Mondays where we highlight one queen that is sparking change, that is using her gifts to make change and to be able to speak to other people with their gifts. And then Find King Friday is us acknowledging the kings that are out here making positive change and making moves within the community, pushing the culture forward. We recognize kings too. We ain't just about the queens here, but we love our men. Yes, indeed. And then of course every Tuesday, Table Talk Tuesday. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Did you guys have anything?
Yes. So if you guys know anybody for the Find King Friday or for the Magic Mondays, please DM us with the reason why you think that they should be posted for the week.
To follow us too.
Yeah. So make sure that they follow us. And then if you have anything that you want us to talk about during our table talk, you can send in a topic for that too. And just whatever, just make it fun, make it lively, or we can talk about some deep stuff. We do it all. So whatever you want us to talk about, just let us know. Let us know, DM us.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we do talk about
And we
deep
thank
stuff.
you for all the support, and also the support of us posting the Magic Mondays and the Find King Fridays. Just thank you for commenting and just recognizing the other people with us. So
exactly,
we appreciate you.
Shout out to you guys.
Yes.
Jasmine, Renee, did you have anything? Close out? All right, then.
Sure.
Yes, indeed. Please have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Make sure that you remain thankful for all that you have. Be grateful. Enjoy the time that you have with your loved ones, and have fun.
You should play that choir song in the background.
Which one?
That Be Grateful.
Oh, yeah. Y'all got that?
No,
y'all got that?
He's seasoned. It's okay.
Oh, my gosh.
I said y'all got that? We gonna close out with a gospel song.
Which one you
what
want?
song
Be
is it?
grateful.
Which one do you
Be
have,
grateful.
first off?
Right.
Do you have any?
Be
my
grateful.
God.
Be
By, I think
grateful.
it's the Hawkins.
By the Hawkins, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's close out upon that note for Thanksgiving.
Is he really about to pull it out?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hawkins. Yeah, we bring in church to the Hub Radio.
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Amen. Are you really gonna play it? You finding it? Oh, look at. Okay, come on, y'all. Come on now. Let's go to church. All right, y'all.
He's playing.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for watching QTT
We
again.
love y'all.
We love y'all so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Be beautiful. Protect yourself. Protect your magic. Protect your crown. Yes.
We still got like a minute. Is he playing the song?
It's 9:30. Wait, are you playing it? Yeah, we playing the song.
What are you looking at?
Come on. Yes, y'all remember, okay, here at QTT, we help you discover,
unlock,
and protect
your magic. Be blessed, y'all.
Bye.